Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Leah and this is the Leah Way, and I thought I would bring you a 20-week update of my Mounjaro journey. So I started off looking like this, and if you didn't know anything about me, you'll know that I'm actually really body positive, so this didn't bother me. I was really happy here, and the issue I had was I was uncomfortable here. I was in Tenerife and we were in the process of talking about weight loss because I was being asked by my daughter whether or not I would be going to Alton Towers, and I was saying I couldn't because I'm too fat for the rides. So although I'm body positive, and if you've met me before, you'll know that I'm very keen on fat activism and the world is just not fit for fat people, and you know, it does make us feel uncomfortable, and I felt very uncomfortable. On the flight I was uncomfortable, on the way home I was uncomfortable, like going to the restaurants because they had arms on the chairs, I was uncomfortable. Everything just made me uncomfortable and I wanted it to stop. So I'd been speaking to my wife about things we could do, and that could be, it could be gastric surgery, it could have been Mounjaro, it could have been anything. And so we did a lot of research, and before we went away, we made the decision that when we got back from Tenerife in September, we would start a Mounjaro journey. And it's the best thing I ever did. So I have other videos which I'll link in the cards, talking about the Mounjaro journey that I was on. I think I was maybe 12 weeks into my last one when I did an update, but now I'm 20 weeks in and I've lost 55 pounds. I'm 1 pound away from 4 stone. My next weigh-in is tomorrow. My next jab day is tomorrow. I jab and I weigh in on a Wednesday. And it hasn't been the best journey, and it hasn't been the easiest journey. And there's loads of things that I really want to talk about that I think people don't talk about. And one of those is, of course, this is life-changing, but also there are side effects. And for a lot of people, the side effects are unknown or don't happen, or all happen at once, which they did to me. And I'll tell you a reason why. But I think it's really important that there are things to note when it comes to Mounjaro. Number one, everyone who takes Mounjaro has a different experience. Me and my wife are both on Mounjaro together, and she has a completely different experience to what I do. You start on a low dose. If you didn't know, you start on a 2.5 dose and you work your way up in 2.5 increments up to 15 milligrams. The 15 milligrams is the dose. That's the dose you're meant to be on. So they are just titrating you up so that you can get to that dose without feeling too poorly. And they make a recommendation to move up every 4 weeks. However, there is now more research done that staying on the lower doses, if you are losing weight and if you're getting side effects, is probably the best thing to do until you need to move up. And that's when your body gets used to the medication and you can move up. So I wanted to talk about my journey. So the first 7 weeks I was on 2.5 and I lost about 24 pounds. And I was really happy with that. It was a really good weight loss. The next 11 weeks I was on the 5 milligrams. However, the first 4 weeks of 5 milligrams, I'd been jabbing in my thigh from the very beginning. I did 4 weeks on 5 milligrams jabbing in the thigh, and I just wasn't feeling anything. I was still having no food noise, but I was feeling a little bit more hungry. I was feeling like it was definitely a bit different. So I thought I'd jab in my tummy. Big no-no. As soon as I jabbed in my tummy, the day after, I was getting sulfur burps. Sulfur burps occur because this food is sitting in your tummy for a bit longer than normal, and it starts to ferment and it creates sulfur, which comes up as a sulfur burp, and it is horrific. So that first week that happened, got a little bit better towards the end of the week. I did my next jab, got it again, and I felt really kind of nauseous, and I wasn't feeling great, and I was feeling quite suppressed, and quite a big suppression. I couldn't really look at food. I was feeling quite bad, but it settled down. The day before Christmas, so Christmas Eve, I had my jab, and I did my jab in my tummy again. And Christmas Day, I was sick. I was throwing up all day. I was really, really poorly. I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't have Christmas dinner. I was really, really sick. I thought I had a bug because I was that bad. I was that ill. I thought I had a bug. So I thought, right, just in case it is a bug, I will do my tummy again one last time the week after, which was New Year's Eve, just to see if that would be the same or different. And I was very ill again. I was really, really poorly that week, really, really sick, and I was struggling. My provider at the time, although they were really cost effective, I decided that it would be good to email them because the side effects were so severe for me at the time. I just couldn't keep anything down, including water. I was really dehydrated. I was really struggling with it. I was getting sulfur burps. I was being sick. I was having really bad diarrhea. It was really bad. It was like, we call it brown rain. It was horrendous. Nothing was helping. No end of supplements, which were usually really good, were helping nothing. And I just couldn't feel well. I couldn't feel good. So I contacted my provider and they were just nowhere to be seen. I couldn't speak to anybody. I felt really alone and I did not enjoy that. I felt like they were just wanting my money and they weren't able to help me. So I then made a conscious effort to look for another provider. And this is the provider that I ended up going to because I saw a live video where the lead pharmacist, Hera, she was talking about the way that this pharmacy do things. And she was saying that number one, they had a maintenance program. So you don't have to just be on 2 years and that's it. They are looking at long-term use of Oushk when you get to goal and how you can either come off it by titrating down or you can have longer-term use on the actual medication if it works for you. And they've basically come up with a really good maintenance plan. They've got three maintenance plans. I thought that was really useful. The other thing she was talking about was the impact it has on somebody who has lost weight, who's always been big, and that hand-holding of maybe how you might feel and that big change in your life and helping you to get through that. That was a big thing for me because I know that previously, when I'd lost quite a bit of weight, not this much, but quite a bit of weight when I was 30, losing the weight made me feel worse than having the weight. And it was the reason I put weight back on because I was in a body I didn't recognize. So I was like, okay, that sounds good to me. And finally, I mentioned in a comment on the live how bad I'd been feeling. She said, right, just drop me a message on here. We were on TikTok at the time. She said, I will contact you. I was not their customer. I was not paying them anything. And she rang me on a Sunday night and she explained what to do in order to help the side effects. She explained that jabbing in the tummy was not good for me and that I should avoid it. It's just a high absorption rate for me. For other people, it isn't. This is why I'm saying it's different for everybody. And then she explained that maybe going back to the thigh would be better, but to wait. And so I was recommended to just leave it a week before I went back onto the medication. That advice and the fact that they rang me on a Sunday night when I was feeling so delicate and so awful was just incredible. So that's why I moved pharmacy. They have been absolutely incredible and I absolutely love them. And I'm now working with them a little bit, which means that I can support other people through their journey. Obviously, I can't give advice. I'm not medically trained, but I can, help them in their journey with Oushk. So yeah, I'll put the details in the description box if you want to know more. So that's been really good because I've built this relationship with them and it's a family-run business and they're just really lovely and they're becoming more popular and it's been really good. So we are 20 weeks down, and when I started this journey, I had kind of 5 major goals that I wanted to achieve. And so far in the 20 weeks, I've reached 3 of them. So the 5 major goals that I had were to lose 50 pounds. And I didn't have a time frame really, but to lose 50 pounds because that seemed like a really big goal. I've never done that before. To start the Couch to 5K in March. So we're nearly at March, so that will happen. To what was the other ones? Why can't I think? What have I done? Oh, to last longer than 12 weeks on the medication, because that's my diets have always been 12 weeks long. I never get past 12 weeks. I wanted to get past the 12 weeks. Then I also wanted to go to Alton Towers and fit in the rides for my children. And then the final one was I had pre-diabetes. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes and I wanted to reverse that. So they were my 5 ones and they were big ones. And I have done 3 of those. I have obviously lost 55 pounds now. So that's the 50 pound mark. I got past the 12 weeks because we're in 20 weeks. And I have reversed my pre-diabetes, which is the most incredible thing for me. I can't believe I did that. I feel so proud of myself. I think there are some, and obviously I've got the other two to do, but they will come in time. So the biggest thing for me about Mounjaro, and the reason it is so impressive, is that number one, for a lot of people, it is changing the way that our brain works around food. And it isn't a magical wand that makes you melt off the weight. That does not happen. I think people have kind of got this skinny jab in their head. It isn't that at all. What this is an obesity treatment, and it is where you are deficient in GLP-1, and it gives you that GLP-1 to be able to act in a way that everyone else does, to stop when you're full or satisfied when you're eating, to digest slower, which makes you fuller for longer, to not snack in between meals and be satisfied during your meal times, and to choose healthier options. And then there's the other things, drinking more water, exercising. It is a huge motivational tool. Other things that it has helped me with personally, my ADHD symptoms are less. My brain fog has gone. I've got more clarity. I'm not searching for dopamine. My spending habits have changed because I'm not searching for that dopamine hit. So that means that I'm actually not spending as much money as I used to. I'm not looking for those things. I'm not spending so much time on the internet. I'm doing things that I enjoy and spending time with my family because I'm not trying to be distracted, and I'm not I'm quite sedentary, and I'm finding more energy. I also have not needed my inhaler for the last 20 weeks. I have asthma. I wouldn't say it's severe asthma. I usually have seasonal asthma, and I'm allergic to cats. But as I was getting bigger, I was feeling like I needed it every night. I needed my brown inhaler. I needed my blue. My asthma symptoms have definitely changed. I have not needed my inhalers. The only time I needed my inhalers was when I was on the 5 milligrams, as I was tapering off, and I was feeling food noise come back in, the inflammation was coming back, because what GLP-1 is also an anti-inflammatory, and that is making a huge difference to me and my asthma, which is incredible. I'm not going to say that works for everybody. I'm not going to say it works in the same way for everybody, because it absolutely doesn't. It's so individual, and it all depends on your individual circumstances. So I have achieved so much, and from the picture I showed you, this is where I am now. I don't see much of a difference, but I can tell that there is a difference. I can walk up hills without getting out of breath. I'm going up the stairs without getting out of breath. I'm going on longer walks and not being bothered. I'm walking longer at the shops. I'm going out for, there's so many things that I'm doing that are just so different to me. I'm sitting in chairs and I'm fitting in chairs. Like, those things have always been an issue for me, and they're not so much now. Now, I've only lost just over a size. I was a 26, 28. I'm now a 24. I'm a definite 24. I'm a 22 on top. I've fit into clothes that I haven't fit into for a while. I've got a bra on that was really old that I'd bought, but it didn't fit for long, and now it fits. In fact, it's a bit big now. So things have changed so much. Now, the thing is, it's really hard when you're already in a body positive mentality to go on a diet and talk about weight loss and not be excited about it, because you're seeing results. But the results that I have got now, it isn't just numbers. It isn't just how I look. It's all to do with my health, and it's all to do with how comfortable I feel. And I'm starting to feel more comfortable, and I'm so grateful for it. We have, both me and my wife have been on this journey, and we are just finding it so incredible. It's so life-changing. And there are so many people out there that are so worried about starting Mounjaro because they just don't have the facts, and they're not looking at the research. They're just listening to the news and the media. The fact is that Mounjaro is changing people's lives, because for once in our lives, there is something that actually works. Not everyone is going to have the same experience. In fact, everybody is going to have a very different experience. The lower doses, sometimes it doesn't work for people. The higher doses, sometimes they work for people really well, or they give you bad side effects. The side effects could be anything from sulfur burps, sickness, diarrhea, headaches, skin pains. Like, that could happen, but it doesn't happen for everybody. Some people can go through the whole 15 doses like the not 15 doses, the milligrams, and go right up to the top dose and not get any side effects, and then others can have side effects every time. Some people will need to take supplements, some people won't need to. Some people will need to exercise, some people won't. Some people will lose 5, 6, 7 pounds a week, some people will lose half a pound a week. Like, it is so individual. And I think the problem that we have is there isn't enough people talking about it on social media into the public, explaining that it may seem scary, but I think if you were told that it was a drink and you had to drink it every morning instead of jabbing every week, you would do it. Because it's an injection and that scares people, that's why nobody's doing it. That's why less people are doing it. But I'm here to tell you that I am the most scared of needles person ever. And I don't feel it. And I really do find that it's an excellent way to take the medication, because I actually now look forward to it. It doesn't hurt whatsoever. It's not scary. It's not, you know when you get those pricks for your finger for diabetes, they terrify me and they hurt. This doesn't hurt. It's the tiniest needle you've ever seen in your whole life. It's no thicker than an eyelash. It's so thin. You can use a 4mm. I now use a 6mm because I'm using it in my thigh, and I find that I need a bit of a longer needle for my thigh. I am now on 7.5 milligrams, which is the third in the doses. I've been on that for 3 weeks. Tomorrow is my jab day. Tomorrow is my weigh day, and I could definitely be down 4 stone. I actually probably will be down a bit more. I know what my body's like. I could be into the 18s, which is absolutely incredible. This is life-changing, and as much as my body positivity still is there, this is life-changing for me because I feel so much more in control, and it's helping with so many other things. Anyway, I thought I would let you know a bit about my journey and where we're at, and I wanted to show you some before and afters. I'll also show you I'll show you photos throughout, but I do feel really passionate that people need to do their own research before they make judgment on this medication. A lot of people are just listening to the media because they just don't want us to get skinny. They don't want us to lose weight, right? They don't want that because they need somebody to demonize. And you're too fat, so you need to lose weight. You're a strain on the NHS. You start to lose weight, you're using a medication that is supporting you, and then you're cheating and you're doing it wrong and you're doing it unhealthily. Like, get a grip. Everything that we do now is wrong. So we're demonized if we do, and we're demonized if we don't. So my thoughts are, if you've got any questions whatsoever, please do put a comment down below. I'm happy to help. I will answer as many as I can. I'll put as much detail as I can in the description bar. But honestly, this for me is the most life-changing ever. This has been so incredible. And if you are wondering about it, if you're concerned about it or anything, just reach out to me. You can find me on TikTok, on Instagram, or here you can message me and I will respond as much as I can. I hope that you're having a lovely day. I hope that you take time to do some research around it, and don't judge people that are on it, because this isn't easy. This isn't easy at all. Still have to be in a calorie deficit, still need to exercise, still need to drink water, still need to eat healthily. Those things still need to happen. Nothing changes. It's all exactly the same. What happens is your brain isn't going, you need fucking snacks. So to me, this is a no-brainer. So comment down below, give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be giving another update in 6 months, which is 6 weeks away. And yeah, I'll let you know how we've got on. But fingers crossed, everything goes really well. Mwah.